In this video, we had the chance to talk to young L3X, or Young Lex, and he's an independent hip-hop artist who makes a full-time living, wait for this, essentially just from Spotify and Apple Music streaming revenue. And he's done this by using Facebook ads to market his music on those platforms and makes a living from it. So this is a super long conversation, but there's a ton of value in this, so I hope you enjoy. We are recording, so if you could, let everyone know on my channel and the podcast what you're all about, who you are, and just kind of like a short backstory about you.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my name is Young L3X. L3X is for Lex. I just spell it with a 3. I'm an artist and songwriter. I've been independent my whole career. Part of the reason I reached out to Andrew is because he's pretty much teaching people the same things I've been using my whole career, which has helped me gain some success as an independent artist. I mainly build my audience using ads, Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much me.
And it's nuts. Like, I didn't realize it when you first messaged me, but you have 250,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. You got like 17,000 followers, and you have millions of streams in some of your tracks. So I guess I'd love to kind of know, like, let's take it all the way back to, let me scroll through your timeline here. 2016? 2015 was your first track on here. So
yeah.
What, like, when you started, how long did it take you before you started, like, seriously getting into marketing, and, like, at what point did you start seeing results?
So I feel like my story pretty unique because it's like a story of just like trial and error, and like some things that were mistakes leading to like, oh, I'm glad that happened, or just a lot of trying things out. So basically, been making music my whole life. I'm from Boston, but Boston doesn't really have a good music scene at that time. So I was like, all right, let me just focus on online. I heard about Facebook ads back in like 2015. So I was just trying it, not putting it in too much money, just like whatever I could afford at that point. But I saw how that was gaining some traction. Some videos were like going like sort of viral, I guess. From there, I just kept doing that, not putting too much money in per month, probably like $40, $60 a month, just to begin with. So then what had happened was I ended up getting verified on my Facebook, but then it got hijacked by I got scanned pretty much by somebody who was like, hey, well, we want to work with you, blah, blah, blah. We'll help you like grow your audience on Facebook. So what they did was they hijacked my page in order to just have it with the blue badge. So I'm like, damn. At that point, I think I had like 20,000 likes on Facebook back in like 2016 when Facebook was like alive, which was like a big deal. So I'm like, oh shit. So it got hijacked. I was like, damn, I got to learn. I need to rebuild quick. So I started spending a lot of money on ads per month. Like I went from spending like $60 a month to like $500 a month on ads.
Wow.
And then that started growing my Facebook quick. And then I started realizing like, wait, hold on. The money I'm putting in to my ads is like, I'm making it back from like my streams. So yeah, that's pretty much like the beginnings of how I got into like ads and stuff.
Nice. So, I mean, you've been putting out tracks at a pretty fast rate. Like you have a crap ton of music on your Spotify. Like it's kind of inspiring. Like you can literally scroll down the page for like 10 seconds. And I think just this year alone, you've put out 12 singles or something like that already.
Yeah, so far.
So like you're cranking out the tunes, which is dope. So in terms of like your strategy now, like outside of using Facebook ads, do you use any other promotional methods? I mean, you have a pretty big, it seems like, organic following at this point.
Yeah.
So do you still invest in the ads, or do you get involved with playlists, or what's your process now?
Yeah, everything, just Instagram ads and Facebook ads. But like I said, a lot of it's trial and error. Like even to get to the monthly listeners I have, back in like 2017, I worked with a playlist company. Won't say their name, but basically it was like a company. Yeah, we're gonna help you get on Spotify playlists. I think I paid them like $2,000 for a campaign, and I got on like minimal playlists. Like basically didn't get any streams from it, so it was like a completely waste of money. So what I ended up doing was like, all right, forget paying people to put me on their playlist. Let me just build my own playlist. So if you see on my Spotify, I have a playlist called Way Too Deep, or another one called In Her Feelings. That
you have like 60, 70,000 worth of playlist followers. Like you have 2 playlists that both have 30,000 followers, which is nuts.
Yeah, it's good and bad. Like now I kind of regret it because like all those people followed my playlist instead of my artist profile, which is like, damn, I should be having like 80,000 artist profile followers. But I mean, you live and you learn. So basically, 2017, I started driving people to my playlist and realizing as soon as I did that, my streams doubled. Because like, all right, they listen to one song, they're gonna listen to all my songs on that playlist. And usually I just have music on my playlist since I have so much songs.
Yeah.
I did that 2017. Then later on in 2017, I was like, let me just experiment. So I turned those playlists into an album on iTunes. So I think it was like one of the playlists had 20 songs. So I just put that in as an album, put it on iTunes in August of 2017. And that like, people just started like buying that album like crazy. Like, I think in August and September of 2017, I sold over 1,000 copies on iTunes.
Oh, damn. That's really good.
Yeah, it was just like crazy. I was just waking up like 100 sales. I mean, people don't buy music anymore, but
yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Like, I'm guessing the album sold for like, $7, $8, $9, $10, something like that. So 1,000 sales over such a relatively short time frame. It's kind of a lot of cash in the music world, at least.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was just like grateful for one, and just felt like magical at that time. But like, just getting to that point, it was just like for that to happen, I had to make the mistake with the playlist company. Yeah. For the playlist company, it had to happen. I had to get hijacked in order to like really invest into ads and stuff. So just bringing it back full circle. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. That sucks that you got hacked with your Facebook, but I guess if it started you off on a journey of actually figuring out stuff in a good way, it kind of works out. And so you aside from like the Spotify stuff and music itself, you actually have merch and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, as an artist, what are your kind of main revenue sources? Like, is it all music based, or is it also merch, or do you do other stuff as well?
No, currently right now it's just music. I tried the merch like a couple months ago, but I haven't like really pushed it. I'm actually getting ready to drop a new project, which is like a unique project that I feel like it hasn't been done before, the way I'm gonna roll it out. So that's why I put up my merch again, to see if that does, like, people decide to buy merch. But it's not something I'm pushing currently.
Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed, I mean, this is kind of a tangent. I'll pull it up in the background because I forgot to leave it open. But your YouTube page, I've noticed that you pretty consistently always have, like, for one, you have twice as many subscribers as I do on YouTube. So great job. And it's cool because it's all music, like, which is incredibly hard to do. I'm guessing that's probably the spillover effect of running ads promoting your music. Like, people just go check you out on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, you've got some dope visuals. Like, I forget which music video it was. It was No Good For You. I checked it out. And do you find that, like, having these kind of like what looks like a professional production music video, like, do you find that helps you out in terms of like the marketing? Or
honestly, when I first, like, it was helping out. Like, I was doing videos to like every song at one point, but then I realized towards the end of 2018, 2019, it's like, all right, videos for all the songs are not necessary. You just need to have some type of visual aspect for like the ads, either the in feed ads or the story. Because like the cost to make a video, it's hard to make that money back. So
Right.
I just stopped doing videos and just started focusing on like, all right, let me just get a piece of like I might just shoot like a 30-second video that I could use on an ad, because I view ads as like more as the commercials for your music.
Yeah.
So sometimes I might even reuse like my own videos for like new songs and use them as ads. So
That's interesting.
yeah, because I just view it as like, all right, I just want people to listen on Spotify or Apple Music. So instead of just me putting up a blank, just like a cover of the song, let me just, even if it's like one of my old videos, oh, this vibe fits with this song, let me just take it. People are gonna swipe up and listen to the song. So that's good.
So like you'll have a video and the music will be from some old song, but you'll direct them to the new song.
Yeah.
And that works fine. Like people don't be like, this isn't the same song. What the hell?
Nah, because I feel like most people listen to stuff on Spotify and Apple Music. So like there's one song that's pretty good. I dropped it last year. It's called No Time for Love. I don't have a music video for that one, but that one it's getting close to like 500,000 streams on Spotify. And all I did was to promote it, I used an old video of mine for a song called Earn It that didn't do as well. I just took a clip of that video, promoted it with No Time for Love, and it just started doing very good. So I was like, all right, that works.
Yeah, that's actually like a really clever idea, because I've had songs, you know, every song kind of performs differently, right? So like some songs I always do a small portion of my ad spend just to like pitch to curators on Submit Hub or whatever. And most of it's ads, and some songs will do great on Submit Hub and horrible on ads. And another song might do the opposite. It'll be horrible in Submit Hub and awful in ads. Or, yeah, great in Submit Hub, bad in ads, bad in Submit Hub, great in ads. It's not always one-to-one. And that's just like the nature of ads. Like some songs naturally will do better. Some visuals will naturally do better. So I'm wondering if like it'd be worth me experimenting getting like the video of my best performing Facebook ad song and just like slapping it in an ad and directing people to the new song.
It worked.
Yeah.
I feel like anything better than just like something simple, like a simple cover image works for, because you got to view it as like, even like some songs. I use a website called Pixel. It offers like free stock footage. So I'll find like stock footage videos, and I'll like, all right, this fits the vibe of this song. Let me just place it onto this song since it fits, and people swipe up. So like a song, for example, I have a song called Low Key. It wasn't like really streaming. It's probably getting like 30 streams a day. But then I found like a video that fit the vibe of it, and I turned that into an ad. Now it's getting like 600 streams a day or more, just by like using strategy, like viewing ads and get people to it.
That's a good idea too. Like I use Storyblocks, it's another stock video site, and I use it for like in the past I used to make music videos out of stock footage, but I've never tried like using that as an ad, because some stock footage stuff can actually be pretty awesome. Like I don't know, like a clip of a what are they called? Who are those people that do like tricks on the street, like doing flips and stuff? What is that called? Parkour. Yeah, they have like parkour clips. I wonder, just like getting a parkour clip and like running ads on it to a song, like that's a great idea, because you know sometimes ads just flop. Like you make a nice music video or whatever, and sometimes for some reason in like an Instagram story format or whatever, it just doesn't click.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
So in your ads, are you, I mean, you might have multiple answers for this, but are you pretty much exclusively doing story placements and sending people to like a landing page where they can click to go to Spotify or Apple Music?
Yeah, currently mainly story placements. But when I like really, like when my ads like blew up back like 2017, 2018, surprisingly, it was all through just like video views, the campaign objective. Because they were just getting, because like the content of the music I was making back there was more like share based and like more I guess shock. It had like shock value to it in a way. So video views was working better back then, but now, yeah, it's strictly IG story feeds. Sometimes I might run ads on Facebook feeds and Instagram feeds, but I feel like IG works the best right now.
Yeah, I found that too. And it's funny, I in one of my videos where I show how I do like my current story ads, someone commented and was like, dude, this works super well, but I found a way to like cut my cost in half even further. And I tried it and it worked. And it was that in addition to the story placements, like add in like the Facebook feed, the mobile feed, the Instagram feed, and like the video thing. I forget what it's called, but it's like the video marketplace or whatever. And I added all those in, and I put like custom placements for each one so the videos look decent. And it cut my ad cost in half. And in the past, I would do that to test it out, and I never got as good results. So, something to try, I guess, for you is like test out putting in some of those other placements again.
I tried actually I have like one campaign strictly for Facebook feeds, and I think that was costing like 4 cents per conversion.
Wow.
At first I was kind of like wary, like, wait, this is too low, too good to be true. Like 4 cents per conversion. So now I'm like, all right, hearing you say that as well, I'm like, all right, I guess it's legit then.
Yeah, I mean, I've had, even just on Instagram stories, my song Socialize, which came out like 12 weeks ago or whatever, it was getting consistently 10-cent conversions, which is like super good. Like putting $300 into that means you get 3,000 new people on your Spotify page, which is, super cheap. And then I've had playlist ads that I've run that will get down to like 6 cents, 5 cents per conversion, because I still do that landing page thing with the playlist. And it seems to all be real. Like the streams come in, the saves come in, the listeners come in, the followers come in. You see on your Spotify for artists all these playlists, all these user playlists you're getting added to. So yeah, it's real.
Yeah, no, like I'm very a strong advocate of just using Facebook ads and Instagram ads, because like I know like several artists that paid like playlist companies and paid for marketing companies, marketing agencies to do stuff for them, and that has happened. Even me, like last year, I made a mistake where I hired a publicist, hoping that would like generate some buzz, and the money that I spent on the publicist did not generate. Not, like I could have spent that on ads and done like 10 times more than what the publicist did. But
yeah. When I talked to Circa from Entrepreneur a couple months ago, he has a thing on his site where he talks about how he had an example of a band hired a publicist for like $3,000, and there's no return path for any of those people. Like you might get some blog placements or whatever, and while blog placements are good because they're kind of like a permanent record of your successes online, it's like you can't directly ever say if they did anything for you, especially not in the immediate term. And that's kind of the falter of anything publicist related, is that like how do people get back to you and how do you track it? It's just kind of like a black box,
Yeah, it is.
And you're 100% independent too, right?
Yeah, I've been doing everything myself.
Which is just nuts. And are you doing this all, like, is this your full-time gig now? Music?
Yeah, I've been doing music full-time since 2017.
Wow. So when do you do shows and stuff too, or is it all like online?
It's just been all online so far. Like I've been trying to get into shows, but for that I feel like you need a team, and I need to just get bigger. Recently I changed up my approach because I made a mistake with Facebook ads too, which people should be aware of. 2017 ads were great. Like they were like blowing up. Like I think I was spending $20 a day on like one campaign, and I was getting like 2,000 link clicks, like real, like actual, like people going to like link clicks, which was like less than 1 cent per click. Yeah. So I thought that was going to work. So I left my ads completely the same for 2018. Didn't really change up my approach or anything, but Facebook changed. Something in Facebook changed where that did not work. So I spent a lot of money in 2018. I lost a lot of money in 2018 in ads. So now this year, I learned more, especially watching your videos. I picked up some things, um, just to enhance my approach with the ads. But yeah, I forgot what your question was, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I was asking if you're 100% online or 100%. Yeah, if you're doing it all online,
Yeah.
and you are, which is crazy too, because a lot. I mean, you're not even really. You're essentially making a full-time living off of just streaming services.
Yeah. That's what I try to explain to people. Like, you could make a living by yourself. You just gotta. At first, you're gonna invest money, you're gonna lose money, but it's gonna it works like a circle. Like, the money you put into it now, it's gonna come back to you. Like, the money I'm spending on ads now, I'm losing, but 6 months from now, I don't have to put in the same amount of money I'm putting in now, because it's like, I can't really explain it, but it's just like a circle.
Yeah, it's that I think about it in the same way as being this like cyclical thing where you're putting money. It's almost like investing in your future, right? You're spending this money in ads to get people on your profile, and at first you're like, well, I just spent X amount of hundreds of dollars or whatever to promote this song, and like you might see some numbers tick up, but it's hard to quantify your ROI and something like that. But then over the course of 6 months or even a year of consistently dropping songs and promoting them, there's kind of this cyclical effect where the previous fans are checking out the new ones, and so that next song does better, and you're pumping it with ads, and then eventually you get a payday on the song that comes, or because there's that 3-month lag with distribution platforms. 3 months or 6 months later, you get the payment for all that stuff you did before, and now you can put that towards the new stuff.
Yeah,
and it's this circle of life, so to speak.
Yeah. Also, what I try to tell people is like for me, example, it's easy for me to like invest into ads and at the beginning lose money when I'm doing it, because I just want to be heard. Like when I didn't have as much money to play with when it comes to ads, like I would skip meals, I wouldn't buy clothes, shoes, video games, wouldn't go out. Like, all my money would be going into ads. And some people just have to, like, people that really want to be heard, I feel like, or want their music to gain some traction, you just have to make sacrifices. And if you're like cut off certain things that you don't technically need and just put that into your music, and you'll see that over time, it's not going to happen overnight, but like you said, like a year, if you do that consistently, you're going to make good money from your music, and you're going to actually, like me, like I ended up doubling what I put into it, tripling it, but it just takes time and consistency.
But there was another thought I had earlier, which is kind of related to this. But I look at your profile, right, on your About page, and your Discovered On section is 5 Spotify editorial playlists. So, like, what has been your experience getting on these editorial playlists? Is it all just like you're pitching through the Spotify for Artists submission tool?
Yeah, so every time I release a song, I pitched through the submission tool. So that has helped with that. Wow. So
I don't know anyone who's actually ever gotten on an editorial playlist personally. Like, they pitch and then they never get added. Like, have you found that over time it's gotten easier for you to get on these editorial playlists? Like, because like now you're seeing this success.
Well, that's not really. I mean, I've only been on like 4 of them, I think, or 5. Last year, I got on 2 for the first time, which was big. This year, I think I got on 2 more, but I felt like last year when I got on those first 2, I'm like, oh, get on more. But it took like a whole year to get onto like a new editorial playlist.
Yeah.
And also,
sorry, go ahead.
So I'm off. Like, the editorial playlists are good, but they're good to get streams, but not good to build a fan base. Like, because when I got on to like one editorial playlist called Locked In, it has like 800,000 followers on it. I got on it thinking, I'm like, oh great, my followers are gonna go up, and that did not happen. Because people just listen to it, they don't follow you, they don't even like check your Instagram or nothing. So it has its pros and cons. I mean, the pros is you're getting streams and you're making income from it, but it's not what people think.
Yeah, almost everyone I've talked to that makes like significant amounts, or not necessarily makes, but has great results in Spotify, they say the same thing, that Spotify playlists are essentially just a tool to get a whole bunch of streams, which can make you money, but they don't result in saves. They don't result in people adding to their own library or playlist. They don't result in people following you or whatever. And so I guess they're kind of like, as you said, a mixed bag. You know, it's, you get a bunch of streams, but like it's not. I would imagine most of your 16 or 17,000 followers are from your ads.
Yeah. Especially like the last month, I picked up a lot of followers on Spotify because prior to running ads, I was running ads to my playlist to get streams, and people were following like the playlist. So that's why I have like playlists like way over 30,000. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I have playlists over 30,000 followers, but people were just following that. Then I started doing more research on like Spotify's algorithm and their popularity index and stuff like that, and realized, oh shit, I should be driving people to my artist profile to bring up my followers. So in like the last month, I changed that direction in my ads, where I'm driving people directly to my artist profile now. And then from that, people follow me. I see that my saves are going up. Even like the playlist I have pinned as my top pick, that picked up a lot of followers just by driving them directly to me instead of driving them to the playlist, which was just like, it's just a waste of like having a playlist with followers, especially for an artist like me. Like, it's just my music. I felt like it was just a waste of followers because I can't really. These people don't know when I update their playlist. They don't know when I release a new song. So
yeah. The playlists aren't like a podcast where people like follow and get updated or anything. It's just like,
yeah, it sucks.
I mean, there's perks. So like I promote playlists as well, but you know, I do it because I can send someone to a playlist and potentially get like several streams from it. But the other reason is that now I'm on Submit Hub, and so I can add other artists on to the playlist as well.
Yeah.
And you know, you're growing these playlists with ads, and you're constantly feeding them with traffic, and it's good for your own music, but it's also gives you a way to help out other artists. Now for you, I think all your playlists are just your music.
Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes like if I have a friend, I might put them onto it to help them get the streams up. But
yeah, I mean, so for you, I can see why it would be less of a good reason because it's just your and I see you even added, you edited the description of the playlist to say follow my artist page for my latest music, which is
I was going back and forth Spotify because like I was like emailing them back and forth like, hey, this has to be a way to like transfer these followers because these like people, a lot of people thought they were following me, but they were just following my playlist. So I'm like, hey, there's got to be a way to like transfer these followers. But it was like, no, just put it on your description to follow your profile. That's all we could do. So, one thing I am doing, so I am like still like when I do an ad, they go to the landing page. It's Spotify or Apple Music. When they go to Spotify, it'll take them directly to my artist profile. But for Apple Music, it'll take them to a playlist. Because like Apple Music doesn't matter followers or anything like that. So even for you, I'll suggest like say I'm not familiar with the names of your song right now, but if you have a song, just for the Apple Music, just send them into like a playlist of your own music. That way, and you can put that song at the beginning. That way, they'll listen to that one. If they like it, they'll listen to another one, and you might get three streams at one time instead of just one.
I'm super glad you brought that up because I did a video last week called The Apple Music Algorithm, where I got a subscription to Apple Music solely so I could learn how it works and kind of like be able to run my ads a little better. And what I found is that the way that they recommend new music is like, you know, on Spotify, it's more like they have Discover Weekly, Release Radar on repeat. On Apple Music, if you listen to a playlist, if you listen to 2 songs in a playlist, on your For You page in Apple Music, it's going to have a big thing that says songs like this playlist.
Yeah.
So it's like by doing the playlist, you're taking advantage of, you know, in addition to there's no follow function in Apple Music. You're taking advantage of the algorithm on Apple Music, because that's like the entire way it works. Like, you listen to a playlist and they recommend more from that playlist. So it's a good strategy.
And there's a lot of people that use Apple Music. Like, on Apple Music, I think I've gotten over like 11 million streams without like Apple Music playlists or anything. Just giving people the option to go to Spotify or Apple Music, but sending them to like a playlist I created. So
yeah, man, that's a super good point. I've been trying to get, like, I'm working on some more videos talking about Apple Music, because a lot of people aren't focusing on it, you know?
Yeah, and it pays double what Spotify pays.
Yeah, it literally pays double, and I think it's like they have more paid users in the United States than Spotify has paid users, and they have like half the overall user base of Spotify, which is like tens of millions of people.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like kind of madness that artists like, they're like, no, Spotify, that's it, nothing else. Like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
So
definitely people do that.
Do you might not know this off the top of your head, but I talk a lot about, like, one of the reasons why you run ads on songs is, like, yeah, you can get pretty cheap rates per song. Like, like pretty good results on like the amount you pay to get someone to go to your profile and listen to some songs. But the real way that you make a like, I guess, profit off your ads is if your song gets into like Discover Weekly and Release Radar on repeat. So, like, off the top of your head, like, how much of your Spotify traffic is algorithmic based, if you know?
I think 35%. Like, I've been getting onto like a lot of Discover Weeklies recently. Even like releasing, like, I released a song. I was releasing, like, last year I was releasing a song a week. At the beginning of this year I was doing that same thing, just to take advantage of the release radar when you pitch to Spotify. Even that, most likely they're not going to put it on an editorial playlist, but they'll put it on people's release radars for your followers. So that has helped like bring my streams up.
Right, yeah. And that's like 35% is crazy. That means like over a third of your traffic is essentially free.
Yeah.
That's about the same that... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry to cut you off. But I was going to say I'm still going to stick with that approach. Because like, I have this new project I'm dropping next month where I'm doing something unique in a way where I have... Actually, let me just grab you real quick. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I'm going to keep using like the Spotify pitch-in or release radar, because I feel like that makes more sense than releasing a whole project at once, because then you screw your chances of getting streams. Because if you like release 10 songs, you could only pitch them one song. So 9 of those songs, the streams are not going to be that good. So I'm like, all right, how do I release a project at once but still pitch people? I'll still pitch to Spotify.
I think I kind of know where you're going with this, but keep going.
Yeah, so what I'm doing next month, I have a new project called The Breakthrough, where I have like these little cassette tapes, right? These are like custom-made cassette tapes. On the back of these cassette tapes, there's going to be a QR code that people scan with their phone, and it's going to send them to a private link that has my full album on it. So if people want to buy this and hear the whole album at once, they could purchase this. If not, I'm going to release a song every 2 weeks from that album, just to take advantage of Spotify's algorithm.
Wow.
And I feel like people should do it. Like, I know somebody that recently dropped the album. I was trying to explain, like, hey, you should just drop a song a week instead of all at once, because at least you're going to take advantage of Spotify's release radar and get more streams that way.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it actually took a completely different direction than what I was expecting. I thought you were going to say that you were going to do that Chainsmokers Waterfall release strategy. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, what is it?
So what they did, and a few other artists have done it. Like, I think San Holo did it with his most recent release. And what they do is they put out a single, just like a normal single, and it has album artwork and a title of an album. And then 2 weeks later, they put out another single, but they don't put it out as a single. What they do is they pull that previous single from stores and upload the first single along with the new single with the same ISRC code and the same title and artwork. And then 2 weeks after that, they pull down that release and put up a 3-song album with the first 2 singles and the new single. And that lets you have the same album appear in people's release radar for as long as you do that. Which is,
that's what pretty much I did last year. I have a project called New Energy. Like if you go on my Spotify, it says New Energy. It's not actually like an album, but it was like songs I was releasing like weekly, and I just turned it into an album. Or even this year, I dropped a Spanish song called Otra Vez like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I released it as a single, and then recently I took it down as a single, and I put it into the album from, like I dropped a little Spanish 2-pack last year. I put it into that. So now that's like a 3-song album. So I can see how that works too.
Yeah, that's cool that you managed to kind of do the same thing and have it work out. Man, I just blanked out again. One thing that I found super dope is I was checking out your music, which, by the way, your music's freaking awesome. Like it's produced. Do you do everything yourself, or do you have like a producer? Or
I produce a little bit. I usually just find people online or find people to work with, or just get like beats off online and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then do you go to a studio to record your vocals, or do you do that at home?
Like the last year and a half, I've been going to a studio to record everything, but I'm planning for the rest of this year to just get back to recording everything at home, and just doing it myself.
Yeah, that's probably best considering how this year has gone with studios probably not being open at all. Although I guess it's probably more like they can probably squeeze you in, even though they probably aren't supposed to be open, I would imagine. You had this collab with someone, like I was checking your song "Won't Forget" because it was like the most popular one on your profile at the moment, and like you got this artist who like I haven't heard of, but I'm not like super knowing like into the genre. Joyner Lucas, who he's got like 9 million monthly listeners, and he's 446th most popular artist on Spotify in the world. How the hell did you pull that off?
Joyner Lucas, he's actually from Worcester in Massachusetts. So basically, Joyner Lucas is somebody I heard of back in 2015. So that song right there is from 2015. Like I was looking to do a feature for somebody in the Boston area. There was a couple artists I was looking into, but I was like, all right, I feel like he's gonna blow up one day. That was in 2015. So I got him to do the feature on the song, and then I had it up for like 2 years, and it wasn't like really doing anything. And then 2017, I think he like blew up. He had a big video, and then he blew up again in 2018 because he collabed with Eminem. And then that song, "Won't Forget," started taking off, kind of, and it got onto like Spotify playlists. So it was just like picking the right artists, I guess, and them blowing up, and me, like, since I have them on the song, it helped me out as well.
That's nuts. That sounds like such an awesome story too, because you never know. A lot of people, like, they only want to work with someone if it's going to like benefit them right away, like if they're a bigger artist or whatever, whatever clout they have in their mind that you need to have to work with someone. And I personally, I think that's the wrong way to go about it, because
definitely.
Like, you never know who's gonna be the one to just like shoot off. And in this case, like, I mean, you collaborate with a ton of people. It looks like you have a ton of collaborations or like guests on your songs or features and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it's other people, they keep working on their own, and like you just never know if someone's gonna pop. And it doesn't like it helps. It only helps you to like work with someone based on their quality and how much you get along with them, because like the worst case that happens is that you help them a little more than they help you. It doesn't
definitely
hurt you. But in this case, like, it worked out super awesome for you. Like, it got you a super like popular song, 2.6 million streams. So
no, that's definitely an approach I feel like people would think. Like, I should take, just view people, forget about their clout, just view people from their potential. Like, I have a lot of songs with a female artist that I can't name, I won't name her, but she was featured on a lot of my songs, and she like really took off like in the last year.
Yeah.
But when I met her, she was just like YouTube doing covers, and I believed in her, and I saw like, all right, I feel like a couple of years from now she could take off, and like now 2020 she's been on Times Square billboards, a bunch of Spotify playlists. She's like one of YouTube's like artists to watch, like doing like super big things. She just collabed with like anime company to do her music videos and all this crazy stuff. So I feel like people, just going back to what you were saying, yeah, like just if you forget about the clout or how many numbers such and such artist has, if you believe in them, you never know what they could turn into, and that can help you down the line.
Yeah, and like there was a recent thing where I saw, you know, again, I won't like name names, but I heard of someone who had this like dope voice, and like he only had like 5 followers in Spotify and like 12 monthly listeners or whatever, and I mean it might not have been that small, but it was like very small. But like for me, the value is like the person has a dope voice, and I think I could write a song that would fit them well, and the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, for one, like you're helping them out, which is a good thing. You're getting awesome vocals on your song, and if you know you're building a relationship that could, you know, help either one of your careers in the future, and it's hopefully will benefit both parties, not just one. But
yeah, that's how I look at it.
Dope, man. So, in terms of like the merch stuff, I just completely random, but like I'm on your Spotify profile, and you have merch on your Spotify profile. How do you do that?
Wait, I do?
Yeah. There's a merch section on your Spotify. Oh, sorry. I was still on Joyner Lucas's. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has merch in his Spotify profile. Man. I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah. That I do. But with the merch, since a lot of artists are curious about merch and stuff like that, when I was first got into merch, I'm like, damn, I have to buy these shirts and hoodies and stuff and hold inventory. But now, like, just use Shopify. I use Shopify. I use an app called Printful. They print it for
That's
you.
what I use too.
You just put up your design. You don't have to ever touch it. Buy inventory, and they take a percentage, obviously, but it's better than you buying 500 T-shirts and only selling 10 of them and being stuck with the rest. So any artist these days that have merch, especially now, I think Shopify is doing like 3 months free because of the COVID. Oh. So I feel like artists should take advantage of that and just put up some merch. People buy it. They do. If they don't, they don't. It's like, yeah, just try things out. Like, I feel like
in my case, I haven't pushed the merch too much, but I have the store, and it's only $30 a month normally, which for some people, you know, maybe that's a lot for them. But if you really want it, and you like, you can find $30 a month, or as you were talking about earlier, like don't go out to eat, don't buy that video game, like wait till it's discounted, kind of thing. And I do the same thing, like with Printful, and that's how, like, this sweatshirt I mentioned at the beginning, like this is my sweatshirt, and I had it done on Printful, and I bought one for myself, and it's kind of just like you don't do anything, and like you order it, and it just gets shipped to the customer, and it's a completely seamless process. The merch comes out looking great, and if you start realizing like you're selling a lot of product, and you don't want to pay that Printful cut, what you can do is then you can go and say, well, I'm selling 50 of these a month, so now I'll go and I'll buy 200, and then I'll deal with shipping, because you can get a shirt made for $5 if you buy in like quantities higher than 80 or something. So yeah, I totally agree. Every artist should, at the very least, use like Printful, or I don't know, there's a boatload of others. There's like a crowdfunding one, and
yeah, I feel like just especially like independent artists, like people like me or just anybody independent, just you have to just be willing to try things. And usually, like, a lot of things are going to fail, but some things are going to work out, and you got to act on it quick. Like, I was watching your video where you was doing a thing for Tone Den with their like Spotify growth thing. So I tried it out and it started working, but I told somebody else about that. It's like, yo, you should look into this, and still hasn't tried it out. I was like, so I feel like artists, once you see something's working, just give it a shot. It might work for you, it might not, but at least you tried. Because like I realized with, especially with marketing online, like the things that we're doing now might not work in 2021. Like running ads for conversions and video feeds, we got to take advantage of it now and grow our fan base now. Because next year, it might be something else might be working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And every time, there's a lot of people who will sell like courses and products and stuff. And I mean, I have a course that I'm working on too. So I guess I'm kind of in that game too. But like a lot of people sell courses on a specific hack. For example, in the past, I took a course that was about how to get 10,000 Facebook likes. And I'm not going to name drop who makes the course because I think the course is a pile of trash.
Yeah.
But like, it was one of those things where it totally worked. But the thing is that it ignores the fact that in 2020, a Facebook page like is really a meaningless number that doesn't help you. And you kind of alluded to this earlier, that Facebook pages used to be the shit. Like they were fire for having a community where you could spread your message and reach people. But in 2020, you do a post, like 1 to 5% of your audience sees it.
Yeah. I have over like 130,000 followers on Facebook. And when I post, I get like 28 likes or something crazy. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and that kind of shows how it always changes. Even before that, Google Ads was super cheap. And people did a lot of awesome stuff with it. They raised the prices. A lot of companies went under. Facebook ads came in, and all these companies rose to the top. And then over time, Facebook kind of, they need to make money, and they learn that there's much more demand. So you kind of have to be willing to jump in before something's proven. Just test it out yourself. Like I just got access to TikTok ads, which I'm very excited to try out.
Yeah, I recently applied for one too, because I tried Snapchat ads, I tried Spotify ads. I'm trying to get into TikTok ads. I tried YouTube ads, Pandora. I tried it. I'm in talks with them to get access to that one, just to try it out.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, that's a great like thought process to have. That you always like, you want to be in the cutting edge, because that's when you get to take advantage of all these like super dope strategies. And I'm sure within a year or two, the method that you and I are using is probably going to be more expensive, and we're going to have to figure something else out. But
yeah, definitely. Especially like even because like before, like I want to just say thanks to you, because before watching your videos, I was running a lot of ads for like link clicks, that campaign. But I think you mentioned something about conversions, and I knew about conversions before, but I switched that approach and realized, all right, this makes a difference, because that's more like somebody that's more willing to listen to your music and click through things. Like I see people talking about like, oh, I'm just running link clicks, I'm getting 3 cents per link click. But those people are like, I tried that approach before. Like I did a campaign where I was getting 3 cents per link clicks, and on my landing page, it showed that 4,000 people clicked, but only 50 of them actually went to Spotify.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, so that does not work. Like, I just want to radiate. I can't even say that word. But what you've been preaching about using conversions. So I appreciate you for putting out that information online for me to see, and for other independent artists to like pick up game and stuff. Because like, there's a lot of people that have the knowledge you have that won't share that type of information, that would try to pay $1,000 for my course or stuff like that. And you have given a lot of free game that now that you do have a course, like I feel like people should like really buy into it, because like, you know what you're doing. You gave up a lot of free game, and so yeah, basically I'm just going on a tangent now, but yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I totally appreciate that. But that's totally my kind of thought process. My main mission is to help out as many artists as possible by showing them what I'm doing, And my course, I mentioned earlier that like some of the other like I've taken great courses as well, but some courses I've taken have been more like immediate tactic-y, like something that won't be valid in 6 months. And what I've tried to do is make my like course be, like my videos show you exactly how I make my conversion ads from start to finish. And the course is for the people who they want that more in-depth knowledge of like every step. Like I'm not going to make a 50-minute, sorry, not 50-minute, but I wouldn't make like 3 separate 20-minute videos showing every little step of the process for YouTube, because it's going to be boring as hell. It's going to do horrible as a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And the course is for like to get that basic understanding, well, not necessarily basic, but have the in-depth understanding for people who want it and need it. Like you already have all this experience with Facebook ads, so you were just able to take what I showed in the YouTube video, just go get great results, and you were already having great results.
Yeah.
But like I try to make it more like in the course, I'll probably have some stuff that'll be like timely, but I want it to be something where even if Facebook changes their game, like whoever goes through that course can understand that and kind of like on their own go and figure out a new path.
Yeah, definitely.
If in a year Facebook is just dead or something, who knows?
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're doing exact. Like I was thinking myself, like last year, because I'm like one of those people too that just like helping people with music stuff and helping people generate income and marketing and stuff themselves. And I was like, man, I should just make a YouTube channel and just like teach people what I do. But I'm not really a good speaker, or I don't like being on camera too much. So what you're doing is like, I applaud you for what you're doing, because you're doing what I wanted to do. I just can't do it because I'm not. You're like very good at speaking things and explaining things, and like your setup is dope. So.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's funny. Like I've always been kind of like a quiet person. Like I'm kind of an introvert, and I don't know. Like I don't do much like speaking in public much. I mean, I used to when I performed live back in the day, but I guess for some reason, whatever my teaching style is, people seem to enjoy it. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm also glad that it's actually helping people out. And like I only started doing these marketing videos this year too, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting into it earlier. But like I guess before I had this fear of not wanting to be like another marketing guru type person, or not like feeling like my results weren't good enough. And then on a whim, I just like shared some stuff I was doing, and people were like, "What? This is how you do it? Oh my god!" And like asked all these questions, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do another video." And now my channel is basically just 100% music marketing, which was a complete twist from what it has been in the past couple of years. But it's I'm all about just helping the most amount of people possible. So
Yeah, no, yeah, like helping others. I feel like that's what. I mean, not to get too deep, but I feel like that's what life is about. Just like helping others, inspiring others. Like life is just about like being like creating a thought and somebody else that will like influence them to do something, or like just help. I can't really explain it, but I hope people know what
I totally get what you mean. Yeah, that's really what everything is about. Kind of, I feel like our job as artists is to, in our art, kind of like express a certain vibe or emotion or whatever. And we all have our own messages, but the main goal of like people in general, I feel like, is to prep the next generation up to be even better than they are. And that's my way of doing it is showing what I know with music, and your way of doing that is making dope music. It's like your music, I'm sure, is inspiring people to either get into music or people that resonate with the lyrics personally.
Yeah.
And you make a positive impact in the world by sharing whatever messages you're sharing in your lyrics. And then there's a whole bunch of different ways, and Steve Jobs did it by releasing the iPhone, but we're getting a little emotional here. But yeah, it's kind of what it's all about. And
and I just want to because I mean, prior to like this year, I'm like more like, all right, I'm gonna do like more appreciative of like the numbers I have on Spotify, the amount of people that listen to my music. Like last year, I was like in a place where like I wasn't satisfied with what I had, but didn't like really appreciate that like, oh, 30,000 people listen to my songs, like my music today. Like since I was so in it and so like, oh, I want more and more and more and more. I didn't like appreciate it until like it started going down. And then I'm like, damn, I wish I was still getting 30,000 streams a day. So it's like, I just want to, and then I was like, also last year or throughout my whole music career, I've been trying to chase like music industry people, like not put me on, but like trying to get a deal, or like I met a lot of music industry people where I got my music to them, and just trying to like get them to help me. But this year my approach has been like, all right, I'm just gonna be independent. I'm making a living off my music. My music is growing. My fan base is growing. I'm making money from it, and I'm happy with that. Like, if the music industry comes to me now, then I'll like, then that's better than me like chasing these people and like I was like hacking like emails and trying to get their numbers and doing all this crazy shit, and that was like the wrong clearly.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that now if some label or whatever comes to you and they offer you some deal that maybe isn't in your best interest, like you have fuck you money, so to speak. Like you can say to them like, I built this all up myself. I don't need you. So give me a better deal. Yeah. And if you're a small artist and a label buys into you, it's like they kind of get to own you because they make stuff for you. And, you know, I feel like a lot of artists see labels and whatever industry stuff is kind of like the goal. But like in the end of the day, I think they need us more than we need them. I mean,
yeah,
like
definitely.
What you've built is, I think, very inspiring to any artist. Like you're completely independent. You're doing everything online. You make a living off your music, and it's like it's just impressive. It's inspiring, and it's good to see people pulling it off independently. And it sounds like you're super humble about it, which is dope too. Because it's
yeah,
funny.
like I forget. Like honestly, like it doesn't like hit me, or I mean, I don't really think too much of it. I guess good thing.
Yeah, but, no, it's cool because like a lot of people think of musicians with like successful musicians, and they think of this weird like, I don't know, it's almost like people don't think of them as normal people or whatever. But like at the end of the day, like all artists are just kind of like normal people, no matter how crazy they seem in their in their videos. And I mean, I'm sure like 6ix9ine is probably as crazy as he seems in his videos, but
yeah,
he's nuts. But it's, you know, you've built up a really like inspiring kind of thing here. Like it's funny when you first messaged me and like you were just like, yo, I've gotten good results. Like I wouldn't mind sharing stuff with you. And it wasn't until a couple days ago where I like looked you up and I was like, damn, this guy's like moving mountains with his music here. Like 250,000 monthly listeners. It's dope.
And I'm excited about that idea too. Like I was telling you about the cassette tape. I feel like that hasn't been done before, and just like learning as I go.
Yeah, I think that's a super cool idea because it's a physical piece of merch that doesn't require an annoying, outdated format. Because it's like if you're selling a CD or a cassette, which are cool, but like, what percentage of fans are going to have a cassette player or even a CD player?
Yeah, people don't have that.
So like you're making this cool collectible thing, but at the same time you're giving people access to a digital product. And are you doing it through like are you shipping yourself, or do you have like a fulfillment kind of thing?
No, I'm shipping it myself. So this is actually so I'll show it again. It's actually a cassette tape that my cousin, he did it for me like 4 years ago. And I was just shipping it out to like music industry people for like the longest, and it got me like traction. Like I live in LA, so I'll run into music industry people, and when I pull that out, instead of pulling out like a business card, like I get their attention. So I felt like, all right, there's something here. So then like 3 months ago, I had an epiphany. Like, wait, what if I just use this as like for my next album? Because prior, I had the cassette. So in the cassette prior, I had like a USB, like a small little USB thing. But now a lot of computers don't even have USBs, like the newer ones. So I'm like, all right, how could I make it happen? And then one day it just came to me like, all right, just use a QR code, and then people just scan it. It's like a private link. It'll take you to like SoundCloud, and there you go. There's the album. So
that's dope. Yeah, and I think more artists should think about creative products like that, because you could, like, one example just off the top of my head is you could sell a T-shirt, and with it comes like a business card with a QR code on it where they get your album for free, and
yeah.
You could do something where the T-shirt has a QR code in the artwork. Like, that's even more of a unique idea. And I guess the problem is that anyone could just scan your shirt and steal the album. But
that's actually a dope. Like, I think Printful allows you to customize like the tag, so you can put a QR code on that. So like, hey, you buy this shirt, you get this single or whatever, or like. So yeah, that's a great idea.
And like, a lot of artists, I think, I mean, myself included, are being boring with their merch, and it's cool that you came up with that cassette idea, because, like, I feel like people will buy that even if they don't care about getting the digital files necessarily, because they might buy it because they want to support you and they want a cool collectible. Then they might still go stream it on Spotify. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the band Tool, but they're like one of the world's biggest like metal projects, and they came out with an album. I bought it. I never even took the CD out. I just wanted the package, and then I just streamed it on Spotify. But I get it, because do I have it here? No, I don't. I just wanted like a cool product by them. I wanted to support them, but I just streamed the whole thing on Spotify anyways. But you're doing that kind of same approach as well, and also if you're doing that while also releasing the singles like individually, you're giving early access too, which is kind of a cool thing.
That's mainly what it is, early access.
Yeah. So I think it's fantastic. It's a great idea.
No, thank you.